Mrs. Laplante.
Hi, Sean.
First, can you introduce yourself to the voters at home?
Sure. My name is Lynn Laplante, and I'm running for re-election to the DuPage County Board in District 4. I live in Glen Ellen. I have 4 kids, 3 teenagers and a spicy tween, a dog and 2 cats. My background is as a professional musician. I went to the University of Illinois for undergraduate and University of Notre Dame for grad school. I first ran in 2018 because I was not happy with the direction our country was going in. So I took our former president Obama's advice, where he said, stop complaining, get up, grab a clipboard, get out there, get signatures, and get on the ballot.
You talked about our country heading into 2018. How have you seen it change throughout the past couple of years?
So the past couple of years, what I've noticed is a lot more civic engagement, like exactly what you guys are doing. So people are paying attention now, they're stepping up and they're getting involved in ways that they never have in the past, myself included.
Yeah.
I never planned on running for office, but you can't stop me now because if not us, then who?
Yeah.
Who's going to do this?
Of course. And, do you have any advice to start with this civil engagement, just starting a petition for something that you wanted to change in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fantastic the way you guys are already getting your feet wet. This is where it has to start. I did this in high school too. I was in journalism. I wrote for the paper and I was class president. So clearly this has been in my blood for a long time. But kids need to get involved. I bring my kids to all my events. They've been in marches with me. They're very aware. This is what we talk about at the dinner table. And that's what I think, to engage young voters and everyone, that's how it has to be. Just a normal part of everyday discussion. This has to become commonplace for people to be absolutely up on their current events, know who their elected officials are, pay attention to who's running for office, and of course, be registered to vote.
Wonderful. And you talked about some of the things you've done in our community. How else have you been involved thus far, and how have these experiences prepared you for serving our county board?
So I've been a committed volunteer and activist ever since we moved here to raise our 4 children. Well, at the time we only had 1, but our family has grown. So I've been everything that you possibly can be. I'm sure you guys know that these types of parents, or your parents are like this. I've been room mom, I've been team mom, I've been a coach. I started the Glen Ellen Women Leaders, a group for women, moms who work outside of the home. Let's see, I am very involved playing my violin places. I realize that that's a huge way that I can give back and be of service. So I play at church, I play in my kids' classrooms, and then I also play something I learned when my own mom got sick, that I play for people who are in the hospital or in hospice and are dying at home. So that's a way that I just think it's so important to give back to the community that has given us so much. We're very, very involved. Our kids are all hugely involved in sports and music. So my husband and I are involved as well. So that's what we do. And then running for office, honestly, was just a natural outgrowth. People have been saying to me for years, you should run for office. Never really thought about it until what happened with the national discourse. And this is sort of a natural progression. And that's how I decided to do it.
And working with the community, how have you seen just the growth of everyone around you and just the changes that have happened?
So I've noticed people finding their voices, and that's something that I'm really passionate about, is helping people find their voice, because it can be scary to stand up, say out loud what you believe in, put your views out there. And it takes a lot of courage, and I just want to say the more you do it, the braver you get. And so that's what I've noticed, is that people are willing now to say, these are my beliefs, this is what I'm standing up for, this is not acceptable, so I'm going to work to change it. And it's been tremendous. That's what my favorite part is, sort of watching people come to life in terms of current events, politics, and community service.
On to the next question. What is one of the challenges that you have faced? How are you in the county, and how are you planning on addressing it?
So something that I have experienced up close and personal in our community is we've had some horrifying tragedies with mental health issues for teenagers and kids. And that was a real wake-up call. I don't think I realized how much kids were suffering, especially with the pandemic. So that's something that, again, I have had close friends that have gone through like the unimaginable loss of a child. And I've seen some other friends, kids, and I see it through my own teenagers that struggle. This is no joke, and kids need support systems. So what I want to change is the whole dialogue around mental health, especially for kids and teenagers. I want to remove the stigma, and the only way you do that is by talking about it and making it very open and normal. We have to normalize the struggles that everyone faces with mental health. So in other words, you should be able to say, hey, I'm out sick with strep this week, and just as easily say, you know what, I'm out this week with some mental health struggles. Something that I've seen that was an amazing change. My kids all go to Glenbard West, and they just started where they gave each student 5 mental health days. Did you guys get that as well?
Yeah, we just got that this start.
I mean, that's amazing. That's a fantastic first step. It normalizes it. So you can just call up and say, I'm calling to excuse my student. They need a day of rest. And I think that's perfect. And that's what we need to do. And I really want to work on that because this is a serious issue that's hitting and impacting all of our communities.
And then I know how important the view of mental health is. What is another long-term goal for serving the community board? How are you going to accomplish that?
So I have a really big, bold plan, and it is a long-range goal. My goal is to bring the arts front and center to the DuPage County Board. When I joined, there was nothing addressing the arts, not one line item in the budget, and no real attention paid. So I created a committee out of thin air, and I got the county behind me. So I'm chairing the Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, and I want to show, and what we all know and what all the research and all the data shows, is that the arts drive economic development. So I'm using the arts to really push some initiatives forward with the business community, the philanthropic community, and with all these different arts organizations from around DuPage and also from the city. And the goal is to, and this is the big long-range goal, is to have a first-class performing arts center in DuPage County that will have a huge impact on tourism, economic development, and running through all of this, a very heavy emphasis on arts education. So I want DuPage County on the map, culturally speaking, and I want people around the country to know that DuPage County has one of the most innovative arts education programs in the public schools, which will draw people here, businesses will follow. So I'm already doing it. We're having, the very first initiative is a DuPage Community Arts Festival, May 28th, it's the Saturday Memorial Day weekend, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., non-stop music, visual art, dance, everything you can imagine at the DuPage County Fairgrounds. It's an all-ages show, families are welcome, and think of it as a Ravinia-esque experiment. Bring your picnic blankets, bring your lawn chairs, and hang out. So that's what I'm doing, and it has an extreme long-range vision. It's very ambitious and bold. It's never been done before. That's why I'm here, and that's what I'm going to continue doing on the DuPage County Board.
Sounds wonderful. And
thank you.
Finally, is there anything else you'd like to cover or address that you didn't get the chance to say during the first part of our interview?
Yes. So when I ran for office the first time, it really just came to me that this is something that I can do and I can have an impact. One of the main reasons I wanted to do it was to blaze a trail for other people who will be coming behind me. I am blessed with an inordinate amount of confidence, and I love doing this kind of work. I'm not a shy person, so I wanted to show other people who would be watching me, my children, their friends, other people in the community. I want them to look at what I'm doing. I don't have a background in poli-sci, I don't have a law degree, but here I am accomplishing really important work at the local political level. I want people to look at me and say, if she can do it, I can do it. So I want to encourage people from different backgrounds, different passions, we need diversity of thought, diversity of education, experience, every type of diversity. We need people like that to step up and run for office. So I hope to be an inspiration to anyone else who's interested in it. Maybe they don't even realize they're interested in it. Reach out at any time. I'm especially passionate about helping other women because we have a real disproportionate lack of representation of women that hold elected office in the country. So I did a very intensive and highly selective program called the Illinois Women's Institute for Leadership that is focused on getting women elected around the country. So I'm a part of that group. If anyone has questions, I want to help. I want to encourage you. You need someone who believes in you. You need someone to support you. I'm happy to be that person if anyone is interested in talking about getting involved more in local politics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is that?
Let's see. Am I allowed to say? Vote for me. So I'm going to ask. I know this is a bipartisan League of Women Voters effort, but I am running for re-election for DuPage County Board, Lynn, Laplante. You can go to all of my social media pages. Everything is at Help Lynn Win. And my website is helplynnwin.org. If you want to shoot me an email, it's helplynnwin@gmail. So please reach out. Please look for me on your ballot. Get registered to vote. Show up at the polls. This is how we do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.